Could 3G truly keep you asleep for 8 full hours without waking up to use the bathroom? Today, we open a topic that many people misunderstand and some even fear. You may think you already know how phone signals affect the body, but there is a side to this story that most people never hear. Before you jump to conclusions, stay with me, because the facts behind this claim are more surprising than the claim itself. Some details may even challenge what you believe about sleep, nighttime bathroom trips, and the signals passing through your home right now. People talk about 3G as if it has a secret power. Some say it calms the body. Others claim it somehow keeps the bladder quiet through the night. It sounds strange, yet the rumor keeps spreading. Many viewers keep searching for the truth behind these claims, and today you will finally understand what is behind them. By the end of this video, you will know 3 important things: what 3G signals actually do inside the body, why these signals became connected to deep sleep, and which part of the story is true and which part belongs to myths pushed around the internet. There is real science here, not just claims from people who repeat what they heard from someone else. You are about to learn how researchers measure the effect of phone signals on brain activity, how they test sleep quality, and why certain results sound shocking at first glance. You will hear about a few little-known experiments that sparked confusion over the years, including one study that showed a small change in brain waves during sleep. That one detail alone created waves of rumors, even though the full explanation was very different from the way people shared it online. You will also discover why some people swear that their sleep became better after switching to older networks, and why that belief spreads even though most people cannot feel the network type their phone is using. There is science, there is misunderstanding, and today you will see the difference. There is also a deeper part of the story that no one talks about. When a person wakes up to use the bathroom at night, the cause is rarely the bladder alone. Many other things can trigger that moment: stress hormones, sleep depth, evening fluids, hidden sleep interruptions, and even the light from your phone screen right before bed. Many people blame their bladder, but the real cause may be far from what they expect. By the end of this video, you will understand how the body decides whether to stay asleep or wake up, and why connecting this decision to 3G signals does not match what real biological systems do. Stay with me, because the final part of this video reveals the twist. The factor that has the strongest impact on your sleep and your nighttime bathroom visits is something you already use every day, but not in the way you think. It is connected to technology, yes, but not through phone signals, radiation, or the network speed. The truth is hidden in plain sight, and once you hear it, all the strange claims about 3G will finally make sense. So, if you want real answers supported by research, if you want to understand whether 3G helps or harms your sleep, and if you want to know why so many people report changes that are not caused by what they think, then keep watching until the end. This topic is filled with twists, science, confusion, and hidden details that almost no one explains clearly. By the end, you will be equipped with facts, not fear, not rumors, and not half-truths. Welcome to our channel, where we break down complex health topics in simple words and bring you the truth behind trending claims. If you want more videos like this, make sure to subscribe and join us for every deep dive. 3G is simply a mobile network standard. It is a type of signal that allows your phone to make calls, load pages, and send data. It is not a special frequency with unique effects on the human body. It is just one step in the evolution of mobile networks, sitting between the older 2G systems and the faster 4G and 5G networks. Even though this technology is older now, the topic still creates confusion because many people believe that the body reacts differently to different network types. This belief continues on social media, in forums, and in conversations where people try to explain their sleep problems through whatever technology is around them. The common idea is that 3G signals somehow interact with your nervous system. Some say the waves are gentler or less intense compared to modern signals, and that this makes the brain calmer during sleep. Others claim that switching to 3G reduces nighttime awakenings, including the urge to get up and use the bathroom. These ideas sound convincing when repeated enough times, but they do not come from established scientific explanations. Many people simply assume that if a signal passes through the body, it must influence the body in some direct way. When someone experiences a good night of sleep, they may connect it to whatever changed that day, including the network setting on their phone. There is also a belief that older networks create less interference with sleep cycles. Some individuals say their dreams become lighter or heavier depending on the type of signal in their home. Others share stories of waking fewer times at night after forcing their device to use 3G instead of newer networks. These personal stories spread quickly, and with each share, the claims grow stronger. But personal experiences are not always caused by the thing they are linked to. The mind makes patterns easily, even when the pattern is not there. This is why we need to look deeper. People may feel something is happening, but feeling is not the same as fact. So let us look at what research actually shows about 3G, sleep, and nighttime bathroom visits, and whether the science supports the claims people continue to spread. When researchers studied phone signals and sleep, they approached the topic with long-term data and controlled observations rather than personal stories. One of the largest investigations on this subject came from the Cosmos study, a long-running project that followed hundreds of thousands of mobile phone users for several years. This study looked at many factors, including mobile network types such as 3G and UMTS, daily phone habits, call duration, and exposure levels. When the data was analyzed, the results did not show that using a phone on 3G improved sleep quality. People who relied on 3G did not fall asleep faster, did not stay asleep longer, and did not report better rest compared to people who used other networks. Even when the study focused on heavy phone users, the pattern remained the same. People who spent long hours on their phones did not show any consistent sleep advantages. In fact, the findings suggested that those who used their phones more intensely were more likely to report sleep disturbances, not fewer. That included waking up at night, feeling unrefreshed in the morning, and struggling to settle into deeper sleep stages. None of the evidence pointed toward 3G signals acting as a sleep-enhancing factor or reducing nighttime awakenings such as getting up to use the bathroom. Other research has examined not only the network signals but also the habits linked to phone use. Several sleep studies have shown that using phones late in the evening can make sleep worse. The screen light keeps the brain alert. Notifications interrupt rest. Mental stimulation from messages, videos, and scrolling activates parts of the brain that should be winding down. The problem is usually not the signal traveling through the air. It is the behavior that comes with the device and the timing of that behavior. Researchers also discovered that people often confuse causes. If someone sleeps poorly, they might blame the network even when the real issue is how the phone was used before bed. Because 3G is an older technology, some individuals believe it is quieter or softer in some way, but studies that measure brain waves, sleep cycles, and sleep depth do not support this belief. What shows up again and again is that the habits around phone use have a much greater impact on sleep quality than the type of mobile network running in the background. When people talk about sleep problems and phone use, the conversation often focuses on the wrong things. Many point to the phone signal like 3G or 4G as if the type of network is the force disturbing their rest. But when sleep specialists and health researchers study this topic, they consistently find that the true issue is not the radio signal coming from the phone. The main disruptor is the screen itself, especially the bright blue light that shines directly into the eyes. This light affects the hormone melatonin, which the body releases to help you fall asleep and stay asleep. When melatonin levels drop, the brain receives a message to stay awake even if the body feels tired. Blue light is powerful enough to shift the internal clock, delay sleep, and shorten the deepest stages of rest. It does not matter whether a person uses 3G, 4G, or any other network. The brightness of the screen has a more noticeable influence on sleep than the signal traveling through the air. This is why many sleep experts warn that using a phone too close to bedtime can disrupt natural rhythms. Even a few minutes of bright screen exposure can make it harder to fall asleep, and repeated exposure night after night can turn into a long-term sleep issue. Another major factor is the mental stimulation that comes with late-night phone use. The constant flow of messages, comments, videos, and updates keeps the brain active when it should be winding down. Scrolling through social feeds or responding to alerts makes the mind sharper at a time when it is supposed to slow down. This activity can increase stress hormones and make the brain more alert, which directly interferes with sleep quality. The timing of this stimulation matters. Using the phone in the last hour before bed raises the risk of waking up during the night, tossing and turning, or struggling to fall back asleep after a short interruption. Many people assume their sleep problems are caused by the phone's network type because they feel something is happening when the phone is close by. But most of the issues come from habits that accompany phone use. The brightness of the screen, the timing of use, and the type of content a person watches all play a much bigger role in sleep quality. These factors have a clear biological impact, while the network type in the background does not have the same influence on the brain's natural sleep processes. When the discussion turns to waking up at night to use the bathroom, the idea that 3G could somehow prevent this sounds unusual, yet it continues to circulate online. When looking through scientific literature, sleep research, and urology studies, there is no credible evidence showing that 3G or any mobile network signal reduces the urge to urinate during the night. No controlled experiment, no long-term study, and no clinical trial supports the claim that exposure to a phone signal keeps the bladder calm or prevents nighttime trips to the bathroom. The bladder does not respond to mobile network frequencies in any documented biological way, and researchers who study nighttime urination do not list phone signals as a factor. What actually influences nighttime bathroom visits are common physical factors that have been well understood for years. Hydration plays a major role. Drinking too much water or other fluids close to bedtime increases the amount of urine the body must process overnight. The bladder has a natural limit, and once it reaches that point, waking up becomes unavoidable. Bladder capacity also differs from person to person. Some people can hold more urine comfortably, while others feel the urge much sooner. These differences are based on anatomy, age, inflammation, and overall health, not on the presence of a mobile network signal nearby. The diet also matters. Foods that irritate the bladder, such as caffeine, alcohol, acidic drinks, and certain spices, can trigger nighttime urination. Many people experience more night awakenings after consuming these items in the evening. Another strong predictor is bathroom habits. For example, not fully emptying the bladder before bed or drinking fluids unconsciously while watching videos can make a nighttime trip more likely. Hormones also play a part. As people age, certain hormone levels change, which affects how often the bladder signals the brain during the night. With all these well-studied factors at play, it becomes clear that the bladder responds to internal processes, not to mobile network frequencies. Treating 3G as a type of sleep aid for bladder issues overlooks the real causes of nighttime urination. It shifts attention away from practical habits and health conditions that actually matter. The claim that 3G can control bladder activity has no scientific foundation and does not match what researchers know about how the urinary system functions during sleep. The idea that 3G can keep you asleep for 8 hours straight without getting up to pee has gained attention. But when you compare this claim with what research shows, the difference becomes clear. Science does not support the belief that 3G signals influence sleep depth, bladder activity, or nighttime awakenings. Studies on mobile networks have not shown that older signals calm the nervous system or change how the body processes fluids at night. The bladder does not respond to phone signals, and the brain does not adjust sleep cycles based on whether a device is on 3G, 4G, or anything else. The body follows biological rhythms, not network settings. What helps you sleep through the night is a set of habits that support the body's natural processes. One of the most effective steps is to limit screen exposure before bed. The bright light from phones, especially blue light, can delay the release of melatonin and make it harder for the brain to enter deep sleep. Dimming the lights in the evening signals the body that it is time to slow down. Reducing mental stimulation from scrolling, chatting, and watching videos also helps the brain transition from wakefulness into rest. Managing fluids in the evening is another key factor. Drinking large amounts of water, tea, or juice close to bedtime increases the chances of waking for a bathroom trip. Being aware of what and when you drink can make a significant difference. Foods that irritate the bladder can also contribute to nighttime interruptions, so paying attention to your diet may help you stay asleep longer. Keeping a steady sleep schedule helps both the brain and the bladder follow predictable patterns. When the body knows when to wind down, it becomes easier to stay asleep without unnecessary interruptions. These habits have a clear impact on nighttime rest and are supported by sleep research. Focusing on real practical habits instead of relying on unproven claims leads to better results. Good sleep hygiene creates lasting improvements, while magical claims distract from what truly works and what your body genuinely needs. If you want to sleep better and wake up feeling truly rested, focus on simple habits that really work. Turn off or dim screens at least 1 to 2 hours before bed to let your brain relax. Avoid drinking large amounts of fluids close to bedtime so your bladder does not wake you up during the night. Stick to a regular sleep schedule, going to bed and waking up at the same time every day to help your body settle into a natural rhythm, and make sure your bedroom is dark and calm, creating the perfect environment for uninterrupted rest. These small changes may seem simple, but they have a big impact on how well you sleep. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more practical tips and science-based advice on sleep and health.